What a week. What a week to be alive as a pro wrestling fan, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, well, we got Saturday night main event coming this week, this Saturday night. Was the redemption next week. You know, Osprey's coming around the bend. And lucky for me, I can watch Saturday night main event because I was able to pay for my ESPN. So I'll be watching it on Peacock, thank God, because I was able to pay for my Peacock. But anyway, welcome to this week's edition of Pro Wrestling Smoke. Pro Wrestling Smoke. You know I am Count Silver Champ, aka the Point Rap Star. Y'all know this is the pro wrestling portion of the STO podcast family. You know what you can do. You can find all my links with one link, allmylinks.com/Porn Rap Star. Also, you know the sponsors, Patch That Apparel, SmokeKind.com, the king of THCA, SarahJCBDs.com, pain relief, stress relief products, and for your sexual need, you have lube. Plus, you can use my promo code BOBBIE to get 10% off your next order from SarahJCBDs.com. Also, the OdysseyLounge.net. Please go to OdysseyLounge.net. Book yourself your next party. They throw events every Friday and Saturday, and this is a swinger social club. So if you're into the swinger and the party lifestyle, Garner, North Carolina is your destination. Like I said, go to OdysseyLounge.net now. All is welcome. Couples, singles, men and women, and even the LGBTQ is welcome. So come find your tribe, your community, and get your swing on at the Odyssey Lounge. Oh, yeah. And don't forget about the flagship of this wonderful podcast network, STO the Pod, STO the Smokers Lounge. Tuesdays and Fridays. And you know I drop this on Thursday. So what's going on, my PW smokers? How y'all enjoying this wrestling? You know, and well, I was able to see the NWA. That was cool. So I'm going to talk about that for what I saw that was going on. Also, another side on Mr. Kozone and MLW. We're going to discuss that as well. We're going to discuss also Saturday night main event. I'm going to predict who I think is going to win, which shouldn't be this. Trust me, this card is going to be a no-brainer to a certain extent. As well as I now hear that WWE, I think either a AAA event or something is going to take place during All In Chicago. The same city, the same day. Boy, this is going to be interesting. So, anyway, where should we begin? Well, first off, we had a Sheamus sighting. He's changed his name to damn it, hold on. Let me see. Because Sheamus' new name. Sheamus' new name is F. Farley. And he looked shredded like a motherfucker. So, no, Stephen Farley. Okay. You know what I'm saying, to make sure. And so he's definitely leaving the Sheamus completely behind. I really believe he's going to end up in AEW. I know a lot of people saying he shouldn't be. Like, we heard a lot of AEW wrestlers don't want him in AEW, and they said another 40-year-old wrestler and so forth. But Sheamus is going to be a new coat of paint for him. And if he has an attitude of working with the system, I think he's going to be okay and everything's going to be straight. Because I'm not even going to front where AEW is now with their roster. I'm sorry, they're strong. The only thing I'm seeing, I told y'all before, I feel Sheamus, Stevie Farley should be with the Dogs. Which we're going to talk AEW stuff later, but I'm curious where his first match will be in the Indies. Will it be with AEW? Will he do some indie dates? Will we see him overseas? Whether it's you know what I'm saying, WXW. Also, shit, hell, WXM. Because remember, it's funny, I saw Wrestle Talk is doing a collab with them. And okay, for some of y'all know who WXM is. It's a wrestling promotion that's been popping over in India. And trust me, it got some names. I've been watching it here and there. And I hate to tell you fellas, I was already on them before y'all actually said something. Y'all go back in the archives and check it out. But it trust me, there's a lot of places in the Indies that he can go to. I don't see Japan. Like I said, now, would I love to see him do some at Wrestle Kingdom? Fuck yeah. Like I said, I'm just curious to see where he's going to land and where his first match is going to be. But speaking about interesting things, before we go into WWE talk or anything like that, Akshay has not announced anything yet. For what I've seen, well, match-wise. August 6th is being pushed very heavily. Called Black August. So I do know that for certain the next one of the matches will be depending after the Asper title will be on the line. Suge D and Azul Brona. I wish they would do more on YouTube or Twitter to kind of hype up like the stories for the matches a little bit. But I'm stoked to see what the card is going to be. At some point, they're going to have to start announcing the card. I think the official card should start to be announced by probably about next week. It shouldn't surprise me. Or at least the first couple of matches will be announced. Like I said, y'all remember on the last show, I don't need to rehash what I think what match is going to be. I do know title-wise, I know this. Yaya should get a title shot this go around unless they decide to save it for September. We should get a Darius Lockhart versus a Billy Dixon. We should get the women's Ashe title on the line, Charity King versus Savannah Evans. The tag titles, I don't know, but we could get a Caprice Coleman versus the Cream Pie Poppy. I don't never remember that fucker's name for shit. But Rayhan, that's his name, Rayhan. I'm sorry. Please don't choke slam me when you see me. But with Rayhan. If let's see if I'm right about that. Because they might throw us a swerve. I don't know if Khan will be back. I'm pretty sure TME should be back. I would love to see a rematch. And so forth. And trust me, I'll be predicting those events in the whole nine. Now, WWE, as you know, has a Saturday Night Main Event. But before we get to the Saturday Night Main Event, an interesting conversation and things that popped up. One, Bron Breakker, it has been leaked or mentioned that he is not happy with the creative. That is going creative direction, the creative about him. And let me tell you how I feel about that. He has every reason to be. When Bron Breakker, I know y'all done heard everyone talk about it, break it down, their thoughts. Let me tell you what they ain't noticed. Y'all pay attention to Bron Breakker. Go look back at the videos the past 2 weeks. his facial expressions. He literally got the look on his face like, why I'm with these bums. Why I'm with these bums. You get me? Bron Breakker went from main event in WrestleMania to he's the heavy for Austin Theory and his girl. The focus of the division is now became Austin Theory and Maxine Dupree. Found it interesting how Paul Heyman said he's done with them. I'm curious, was this part of the storyline? So forth. And you can see Bron Breakker just like, he just looked like he's dying right there. His facial expression says everything. I look at people's facial expressions. He does not look happy in the vision. He loses Seth Rollins in the cage match. He is being basically demoted to bottom of the mid card in a tag team, which if it wasn't for Logan Paul hurt, he might be out. And the understanding is there's no creative for him. Of course, we always hear this. I think he got the Luger treatment. Now, for some of y'all people that don't understand what I mean by that, y'all done heard Jim Cornette talk about everyone talking about it. Luger was in for WWE. He came in, he slammed Yokozuna. He supposed to be the person that replaces Hulk Hogan. And then they decide not to put the belt on Luger. For whatever reason. In the case of Bron Breakker, you put the Intercontinental title on him. Had him basically being pushed to be world champion, and then they undercut him, pull the rug from under him. Now, I heard people, Alvarez, Wrestle Talk, what have you, talk about part of it is Obafemi came in the game and he looked way more polished on the mic and so forth. Because even though, yes, he's not going for a title, let's be real, you can't get no higher of a standing or a match with going against Brock Lesnar. That's the equivalent of going against John Cena. That's better than going against Cody. So, do I wish Oba could have went for the title? And for what I'm seeing was shaping up with the SummerSlam, which we'll get to in a minute. I kind of see why Oba, you know what I'm saying? Put it this way, Oba will get a title at some point. But back to Breakker. Let's have a real honest conversation. His Frankensteiner is not as great, especially when he do the shit off the top rope when he do he's not the greatest on the mic, but I go back to, let me tell you why I think when they messed up at. One, I felt they shouldn't have brought him up from NXT when they did. They should have never built division. Division messed up Bron Breakker. Now, I know a lot of people are like, how did that happen? I don't understand. No, hear me out. Bron Breakker is never meant, he's the type wrestler that's not meant to be in the clique. He's not meant to be in the clique. When he was in NXT and he was being pushed, he was the badass beast. You put him in a feud with Rollins. Unless you were going to have Breakker go over Rollins, it made no sense. You put the Intercontinental title on Breakker, but he didn't keep it long. Breakker should have had a run with the Intercontinental title similar to that of Gunther. But what happened was, y'all had to put that motherfucker with Heyman. Y'all had to put him in the clique. Y'all had to do the Triple H, Batista, Evolution clique. Not every wrestler is cliquish. I'm going to keep winding with you. People don't want to admit it. When the Undertaker had his clique, it kind of diminished the Undertaker. Bray Wyatt made sense to have a clique. Triple H makes sense for him to have a clique. Hey, Austin Theory, I get it. Bron Breakker should have been Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar had no clique. He was affiliated with them fuckers because of Paul Heyman. But putting him in division, in my opinion, did more harm than good. Yeah, Bronson Reed made sense. Bronson Reed made sense. But to me, Bron Breakker, if you're going to put Heyman with Bron Breakker, it should have been, it should have been that from jump. Because even when they had the CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns match decide who was going to get the Oracle, that was, to me, can we be honest, that was a dumbass fucking angle. No title, just a fat man that we all love. Or despise, depending on which side of the fence you're on. And they put him with Rollins, which made no sense. Rollins and him don't fit. I mean, that's like putting Bobby the Brain Heenan with Roddy Piper. It won't work. Rowdy's too out there of a personality to have a manager. No. If you're going to have Heyman with Bron Breakker, it should have been from the outset. And you should have had it to where he came in and decimated all three of them motherfuckers, and he leads with him. I'm with him. Fuck y'all. Y'all always want to take somebody and throw them in the clique, Triple H, and guess what? It don't work for everybody. He don't need to be a leader of the clique. He's supposed to be the badass that don't need nobody. Look at him. His promos wasn't great, but that ain't what sold him. Then you have him lose to CM Punk. Then you have him lose not once, but twice to Rollins. To get Rollins to go against Roman Reigns. So, out of all the matches that's your main event, only one match is going to put over a new talent, and that is actually over. I hope. Because they have Brock Lesnar beat over in the fucking Hell in a Cell. I'm going to really look at their booking like, do y'all really want to make anybody? You practically devalued the man. And I can tell that they lost some steam on what he can be and if he's a main eventer or not. So that's the crazy part. Then add to it the Bloodline soap opera. Yeah. Now we got SummerSlam shaping up. Now we're going to have a 6-man tag with Solo Sikoa, LA Knight, and Royce Keys. Funny, y'all figure out something for Royce Keys, we can't figure out shit with Bron Breakker. Y'all might need to trade. Some of the SmackDown writers need to come over to Raw. But versus the Usos and Jacob Fatu. I will say this. The character development, God, I just sound okay. I apologize. God sounds so millennial. Okay, no. The way that they're booking Jacob Fatu, I'm not mad at it because he's reluctant to help the Usos, but knows that he kind of got to help the Usos because he's roped into this shit. Some apparent reason, LA Knight probably will. I don't see it. They really don't want to put the belt on LA Knight or even put him near the title. Find it interesting. Even though they're keeping him in the main event type feuds. I mean, hell, he fit the typical WWE champion. I mean, let's be real. I mean, honestly. But I'm not super excited for this 6-man tag, honestly. I know that they they got to have the rest of the bloodline do something. Plus, okay, the Solo Sikoa. Now, I am liking the fact that Solo Sikoa is becoming a face, but he's still Solo Sikoa. And I ain't even going front. I'm starting to see he got a little bit more charisma than his brothers. Because I even love the fact that when he like really did the swerve, but we kind of knew it was going to be a swerve. You know, when he put up the one and then he put the thumb, and we know he about to turn like, ah. But we always going to have a bloodline storyline. It's just face it. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's kind of like I guess I know what people gonna say. Well, you say you talk about the Death Riders and so forth. The difference is the Death Riders keep finding ways to repackage themselves. Versus this is we kind of giving you a similar story. We giving you that almost the same storyline, but not. I ain't gonna say the same storyline because it made sense that you got to have one of the guys to be what can I say? One of the bloodline family members got to be the black sheep. So it made sense for Solo. I know how I feel about Jacob. I want to see him as a champ. It's like, damn, okay, Roman, you don't want your cousin to be champ, nigga? What the? You don't want to put over Jacob? But I don't know. It's, and of course, we had the contract signing between, you know, Seth Rollins. Now we'll talk about that, Seth Rollins and Roman. Roman eviscerated him technically. I'm not even. I mean, I like the comeback of what he said, but Roman kind of eviscerated him. He's like, dude, I liken it to. See, let me tell you something, right? Them writers watch Ashe. Hey, Darius, you know WWE watch your show, right? Because that made it sound like Darius Carter first promo with Darius Lockhart when he called Darius Lockhart Darius number 2. And laid out not a similar argument, but an argument of why. That you left, you disappeared, you retired. I kept going. I led the culture. I've been dominating pro wrestling. You know what I'm saying? I'm Darius number 1, you're Darius number 2. So here he basically laid out the case why he was number 2. He was like, dude, you had to fake an injury to cash in the money in the bank. I'm sitting there listening like, damn, dude. Because the funny part was I like the little in between them because of course you had Seth who signed the contract and said, all right, I'll see you the next time we decide to go to work. And he left. I was like, where you think you going, motherfucker? Wait, he's like, no, come back. He was like, because my question is, I mean, if you do win the title, are you gonna get injured again? I was like, oh. He was just dropping bombs after bombs after bombs. So I'm sitting there looking like, what the fuck Seth is going to say? And I like how he spent it. He said, you didn't think I told myself this shit or thought about this shit? I'm sorry. Promo-wise, Roman been on another tier with his promos lately, okay? he I don't know if The Rock has been sitting down with him, or what, but promo-wise, out of the Shield, I have to put him at number 1 right now. He barely beats out Moxley because Moxley be on the chair with his promos. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Moxley be on his goddamn Darth Mox, Star Wars Sith philosophy role lately. So, but yeah, and of course, Telltale, we already know who won. Who's going to win? Sith is losing. Because storyline wise, it makes no sense for Seth to win. But we'll get to the predictions when it comes time for SummerSlam. Yeah. So now, let's go to Saturday night main event. I'm getting all this information right to now. But even before we get to that, a lot of speculation on when Mike Santana is going to appear. I don't know why people are assuming that his ass is going to the main roster. Y'all do realize that's not going to happen. I mean, no, seriously, are y'all actually thinking that he's going to show up at Saturday night's main event because he just so happened to be in New York? He might be backstage, but ain't no motherfucking way that his ass gonna be on the main roster starting now. Royce Keys, I was shocked, but I see it's working for him. But we'll see, because I don't see Santana It's like this way. Santana will appear in AAA before he's appear on the main roster. He definitely gonna go to NXT. I don't see Santana going to the main roster. So let's kill that right there. I don't know if but anyway, we know that the match is so far. Labron Breakker versus Bayley. Now we saw the setup for this, but we're having a character change for Labron Breakker. She has attacked Bayley and so forth, what have you. Now, when you see a character change, wrestling one-on-one, the person that has a character change and it's a big match usually gets a victory. I do believe that Valkyria is going to get the victory over Bayley. I'm curious to see where her personality is going. I mean, she walked in the ring in tattered clothes, this, that, and the third. So she's kind of doing like a Nikki Cross, Tatum Paxley hybrid. Seriously, it's crazed. Actually, she was doing what Bayley was doing, but she won't doing the Merkel personality. And I never understood why they never pulled the trigger on Bayley being that. Because I thought they were headed to Bayley being a crazed lunatic, what Valkyria being. So I see Valkyria probably getting the victory, what have you. I'm curious to see where Valkyria is going with this. Okay. Then we have the women's tag championship, with Nikki Bella. I think it's Nikki. Brie Bella, and Paige will be defending their title against Fatal Influence, Laney, Reed, and Fallon Henley. I'm getting my information from Wrestle Inc., so y'all understand. I just got to pull it up. I'm on the fence because reading what they said, they got a good point. But this will be the first time that if they put the belt on Laney Reed and Fallon Henley, that they put the belt on a team that is an actual fucking women's tag team. That's the one thing that I can say about AEW. They have definitive women tag teams. They have a definitive women tag team division, meaning that these ladies are tag teams. Now, yes, My World, I know I'm doing AEW talking about this. My World does a separate thing from Hyena, but they're still a tag team. You get me? So I can see the women's tag title switching Saturday night. Because one, it's a reason why you brought Fatal Influence to the main roster. It is Fatal Influence, not as separate. So, and apparently you ain't got JC Jane a part of the tag team. So at some point you're going to have JC Jane become a single champion. So that tells me that if there's any perfect time to put the belt on them, this is the perfect time. Now, I don't know if Nikki Bella is coming back. I know she was injured. But I kind of think it would make sense, booking sense, to put on there because, like I said, they are your true. And I hate to say it, a true actual tag team. Even though, yes, Valley Henley had her single success with the Speed title, North American title, women's title, they have been a tag team. And they are packaged as a tag team. So, but if you do have, let's say, Brie Bella and Nikki Bella, because they were suggesting that they might do a turn on page. I don't know. Because the Bella Twins still want to be tag champs. And if that's the case, you're taking them out of the tag team title picture. Because now you're going to have them beef with Paige. And now Paige got to find a tag partner to beef with the Bella Twins. So it would make sense to keep Paige with the Bella Twins because you have your singles feud with Paige and Jason Jane, and the tag team title feud between Fatal Influence and the Bella Twins. So that's just me. I think that'll make more booking sense, but I get it. And then, of course, we have a no disqualification. Danhausen versus JD McDonough. I don't need to talk much about this. We all know that Danhausen is going to win. Danhausen he's not going to take a loss. Let's keep it 100. He is not going to take a loss. And I got love for the Irish Ace. I know he's enjoying himself because this is like fun. And he's getting a lot of, attention as he should. And I'm not even going front. I keep telling y'all the Irish Ace is a future WWE World Champion. It's coming at some point. By about 3 to 4 years from now. But Danhausen is going to win this match. You are cast. There you go. Yeah. So, and trust me, it's not going to be the best match of the night. So there you go. So now, the main event is going to is the tag team match with CM Punk and Cody Rhodes versus Gunther and Sami Zayn. Now, we don't have any SummerSlam plans for Sami. Gunther, which I think was announced or rumored, will be going and will be being pushed and been said too much, so we know it's coming. Him going against Nick Aldis. Okay. So, of course, the main event going to win. Come on, but CM Punk and your boy going to win. It wouldn't surprise me if what's his name? Gunther takes the pin because of Nick Aldis. Because he did choke out Nick Aldis, and some tell me that Nick Aldis is going to get his lick back in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Because if the match is announced, then all bets are off. He can interfere, and it'll be a great way to really heighten, put more intensity until the Nick Aldis versus Gunther match. And as well, of course, it's going to be some tension between Cody and CM Punk and so forth. So now, will we see Punk attack Cody after the match? Or even if Sami Zayn, here's the thing. If Sami Zayn attacked both men after the match, because remember I said, we don't know what Sami's going to do for SummerSlam. People ain't talking about that. You know how many times in wrestling I've seen that the match, it supposed to be a 2-match, and then when it came down to the contract signing, the third man comes in, take out both guys, and then he signs his name on the contract. which becomes Biden in wrestling lure. Why do I smell a triple threat? Because I keep saying this. What are you going to do with Sammy? Sammy just actually won the title and lost it. And of course, in the Tommy Rich fashion, but I mean, even Ron Garvin had it for 30 days. But I'm just saying, Darby Allin had it for 30 days. I'm just saying, Mick Foley had it for at least 3 weeks. I'm just saying, what are they going to do with Sammy? So do not be surprised if we get a 3-way dance. It would shock me if it is Cody versus CM Punk. I'm just saying. Because like I said, what you going to do? Put Sammy in the Andre Giant Memorial? Which I don't even think they even going to be a part of WrestleMania. Which I heard the tickets ain't, SummerSlam. Which I heard the tickets is not selling as much. See, can I tell y'all something to be? Y'all so busy trying to counter program AEW. Y'all need to worry about programming your shit. And by the way, here's something that y'all didn't think about. If, from what I'm reading, AAA, World Collide, and then we're going to finish talking about this, is going to be the same day as AEW All Out in Chicago. To the All-State Arena in Chicago, Illinois. And 20 minutes away at the All-State Arena. Can I tell you something? WWE. Y'all know y'all not going to actually outsell AEW, right? See, if I'm correct, Chicago does have a lot of Latinos, but you not as much that you think that y'all going to get a sellout like that and hurt All Out, which is their biggest pay-per-view. World Collide, I can watch that on YouTube. And you notice they never put main roster shit against AEW. Y'all ain't noticed that? Name a main roster pay-per-views on the same day or even weekend and same city as AEW. You put AAA against All Out. And no, seriously, it's like, do y'all realize this is not like back in the day when Vince sabotaged WCW with the pay-per-view shit? This is their WrestleMania. Y'all don't get the same amount of people to come to that event that GCW gets theirs when they do their event during SummerSlam weekend. It's like, if you're gonna counter program smart. If you go, no, do what you do. You should have put Money in the Bank against it. You should have put Goddamn, shit, one of your biggest main event. Y'all ain't got Roman Reigns in AAA. Oh, I get it. No, y'all think because Damian Priest is in AAA now that, and he have a match. Oh, I already know what y'all gonna do. Y'all gonna have Grande Americano and go for the title. Yeah, I think that there's gonna be a better main event than what they're probably gonna have. AEW. I mean, see, I need to find the sound effect and say, make it make sense. But and then of course I know the Intercontinental title for SummerSlam will have Chad Gable. That's going to be a good match. Actually, expect Chad Gable. But I'm kind of getting predictions before, but I'm kind of feeling I might change my mind before then, but I'm really feeling Chad Gable winning the Intercontinental title because he has yet to win a singles title in WWE. So, and remember I said anytime a character change happens and they go for a title or this is their big match, come on. There you go. So, yeah. So that's it for WWE main roster shit. Now, NXT, it's been interesting. Well, NXT is still, in my opinion, finding its footing. The women's division is strapped. The three-way dance they had with Kelly Armstrong and Lola Vice and Kalani Jordan was actually a good ass match. I even love the ending that once again Kalani Jordan come this close to get her title shot, and they snatched from her. And this by Lola Vice, which I already knew Lola Vice was going to win this match because one, they're not gonna. Two, let me make this clear. If Carrie Armstrong, more so Kalani Jordan, has a match with Kendall Gray, there will be a title change. Lola Vice, no title change. They're just giving Lola Vice a rematch because they probably like that match. And they want to keep Kalani Jordan from the world title because she is next in line to get it after Kendall. Either her or Callie. Now, it wouldn't surprise me. Now, me personally, I would like to see Callie chase after Zarya. I think that would make for a good match, power versus power. And I would love to see Callie become a North American champion. But that match is good as hell. I know Heat Wave is coming up. I'm wondering if that's when they're going to actually have that match. Also, Suge has found his other two people to go after Dark State, as well as the segment with Tristan smashing my man Tooth. Okay, where are we going with Shadow Hill? I get the laugh is menacing as fuck. Get the missing teeth. Yeah. But the question is because they were saying we don't want no mystical funny characters, but then he's sitting there doing thunder and lightning with smoke. Make it make sense. So I'm just, like I said before, I'm just wondering where they're going with this, with him and Tristan. Angels, I'm just curious. The Vanity Project still doing their thing. I think Jackson Drake is going to become a North American champion because they got this thing going on right now, and I guess the storyline is the Vanity Project against Matt Bourne and Tavion Heights. Tavion Heights had a match against Jackson Drake. He lost. Plus, early in the night, he asked Matt Bourne, let's go for the tag titles. So, at some point, they haven't turned Tavion heel, but are we going to see a Matt Bourne heel turn? Because we would expect Tavion to turn heel at some point on Matt Bourne, and best friends, better enemies type scenario. The match that they had, Tavion Heights, we thought he was going to be a heel, but their friendship going to be over? No, they still boys. So could it be Matt Bourne? Because let's look at it. If Jackson Drake does become a North American champion, it's going to be in the midst of him working with Tavion Heights. They're going for the tag titles and so forth, yada, 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 yada. You get what I'm saying? So, and you already got the Vanity Project tag champs, and apparently they're going to have them belts for a minute. Why not go ahead and put the North American title on Jackson Drake? You feel me? Because he got the chick. And two, also, I can't think where I saw the video where like they be doing shows in the NXT just for the wrestlers for themselves, and they had Tristan Angel pretending like he was in love with her. And she ain't bad looking. She just ain't got no lady lumps. That's all. I mean, I'm not body shaming. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted. She cute. Now I can see why they got her up there. She ain't bad looking, but they're trying to play her like they did China. You feel me? But no, I like the fact that she is their heavy. It makes sense. You get what I'm saying? It's like they literally, the Vanity Project is the millennial version of DX. I'm just saying. So, also, now, Naruku versus Tony D'Angelo, because they had interaction, and of course the match was made. There's going to be a street fight. Wrestling rule 101. If the challenger challenges the champion twice, 9 times out of 10, there's a title change. Ain't no way in hell they're going to have this dude lose to Tony D'Angelo twice. And they set it up to where it's the way that Tony D'Angelo can lose. Now, if they switch the belt from Tony D'Angelo because they feel Tony's better chasing, I don't believe he's going to get the title back. I don't see Naruku winning and Tony don't some way come back to get the title down the line. Because Naruku is a former New Japan Pro Wrestling champion. He came in with the same fare as that of, you know what I'm saying, Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura, and we saw Shinsuke Nakamura end up becoming NXT champ. So I don't see why you would have him wrestle twice if you want to put a belt on him. Tony Angelo, I'm not even going to point, is NXT champion. I mean, I had no problem. Like this. I like him as champion, but it's just the problem is that outside Nuraku, he ain't had no really good challenges. Now, if you look at Nuraku as champ, him being a heel, obviously, you got Matt Bourne, you got Noam Dar, you got a lot of people that could actually challenge the title. You have more faces that could challenge than you could heel. But if Tony Angelo retains, now I would think the next person he should go against and actually have beef with, have a program with is Carver. I'm just saying, they've been pushing Carver as these monsters. Why not put him against the champ? So unless you looking to make Carver a face going after Nuraku, but because it's interesting that he understands Japanese. And also we know that Tanahashi supposed to be supposed to be coming to NXT. So could this be his entrance? We'll see. And Jada Parker, we had it with a fatal 4-way, which for the North American Women's title, which led to setting up Natty and Jada Parker. We finally going to get that match. I think Jada going to get that win back because once again, you're going to bury her if she loses twice to Natty. Plus, it can set up a third match between her and Natty. I kind of got an idea that they're going to do an underground match for her and Jada Parker. Now, whether this pushes Jada Parker to a world title program or a North American title program, I don't know. Because it's kind of like with her and Jordan, it's like they have not really put them in the title programs. So I'm curious about that anyway. And we also saw a little tease of possibly Callie Armstrong and Jada Parker. I would like to see that feud. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even going to front. But I'm just curious to see what's going on with the dilly. So there we go. So now I'm done with NXT. All right, enough with NXT. Now if I go to AEW, Labron Kozone, son. Labron Kozone for a second week in a row was on MLW Fusion. For a second week in a row, he got a victory over one of the Contra people. Okay, I'm not even gonna front. The Contra Mercs versus Contra is like dumb as fuck to me. Other than that, MLW is banging. Shots out to Trevor Lee for winning the Southern Heritage Championship Gauntlet. He won that motherfucker. North Carolina is really a lot of North Carolina motherfuckers is winning titles and getting main events. I'm just saying. So, but not MLW. That the biggest thing that I saw from there. NWA, I finally caught up with it. They're on Tubi. I know they do something on Comet. The main show, the show is on Comet on Saturdays. I don't get Comet, but the rerun is on Tubi. So this Saturday, we will have finally the explosion of the Southern Six. For some of y'all that don't watch NWA, Ricky Morton's son, Kerry Morton, was in a group with the world champion. You know what I'm saying? The Thrill Billy, Silas Mason, and Alex Taylor, called the Southern Six. During a match between him and Aaron and what's his name? Aaron Idol? I think Aaron Idol. It was a hardcore match. Morton, Kerry Morton betrayed Silas Young, almost cost him the match by putting Idol on top of him for a pin. But Silas kicked out. And Silas ended up winning. So now the Southern Six has been split and Alex Taylor's in the middle. Now, if you've been watching NWA, and I have, I saw it coming. I was wondering when they're going to pull the trigger because you saw how Kerry felt some type of way with Billy getting the title shots. You know what I'm saying? And he felt like Silas Mason, you know, didn't, I guess, respect them or what have you. And I guess it like, put it this way, it's like I'm seeing my boy, he getting the title shots, he getting a shot at the world title, become the world champion, and I'm over here and I ain't getting my due. I ain't getting my run or my chance. Plus, if you also watch Kerry Morton on Juggalo, he's having a nice run over there as well. So what's coming up is the NWA heavyweight title on the line, and Alex Taylor is the referee. So Alex Taylor has to choose which one of his boys. Now, he can play it down the middle, but I think Kerry Morton might become the NWA world champion. I would like to see what it looks like if Kerry Morton becomes the NWA world champion. And with him and Alex Taylor turning on Silas Mason. Silas Mason been champ for a nice long time. He had a damn strong run as champion. I'm not even going front. Kerry was the junior heavyweight champion at one point. He had a nice run as junior heavyweight champion. He's good on the mic. Like Silas can be a heel, he can be a face, but I think to have Silas defeat Kerry Morton, you're gonna bury Kerry to a certain extent. Even though I know people gonna say, do we really believe? But Kerry turned heel. Rational logic states that if a character change happens, the biggest match that character change presents should lead to a victory. Booker T, when he became King Booker, after winning the King of the Ring, it took him to the world title, World Heavyweight Championship again. You know what I'm saying? When Roman Reigns became the tribal chief, it took him to a world title. You feel what I'm saying? So you can't, even the American Badass, when the Undertaker became the American Badass, he ended up having the world title run. So I'm looking forward to see what happens with Kerry Morton. So there we go. So now let's go to AEW. And Redemption is shaping up. We are going to review it next week. And of course, we had the celebration for Kenny Omega. And I was listening to Angle, and a lot of people was like, the promo that set up the match for Redemption was lackluster. Even I admit it was kind of lackluster. The setup was kind of crazy, which made sense. But the best part of that set was actually, to me, the interaction between Ospreay and Omega. And I also like that they gave the original belt back. So the Burberry belt, we know, will only be used when my man MJF got the belt. So there you go. Now, but I understand what everybody was saying, but what I see what Khan wanted to do is he wants whoever gets the belt, whether it's for transition purposes or for, he wants them to have some title matches. Redemption should have been MJF versus Kenny Omega. And a lot of people was wondering why they had the match last week. Well, I heard supposed news why that MJF supposed to been taking time off. And he probably looked at it as, if y'all got no plans for me for Wembley, and Kenny supposed to get the belt anyway, let's just go ahead and let's just have a match next week, put the belt on Kenny. I can dip out and y'all can do what y'all need to do. Now, also, it did make sense. It's just the way they went about it was lackluster, but it did make sense for the Jet to get a title shot. I find it interesting, the conversation that was had was, you still good, you this, you that, you this. I would have rather him said, yeah, I'm going to give you a title shot because, one, you're a punk-ass bitch. You want to go with Don Callis. Well, I'm going to whoop your ass like your mama should, like your mama used to when you was terrible in fucking school. I'm going to whoop your ass, and I'll put the belt on the line to make it sweet for you. So the ass won't be even sweet. And I want your boy Don Callis to watch as I beat the brakes off of his little goddamn boy. But no, it's Kenny Omega. I know what Jim Cornette gonna say. He ain't standing Kenny Omega. It was the greatest promo. It wasn't the greatest way to get there, but we got there. It's gonna be a bang of a match. I don't know why y'all act like y'all ain't gonna enjoy the match. No different than Bandito and Kyle Fletcher. And a lot of people are like, well, damn, they just threw that match together. No, it kind of made sense. Kyle Fletcher, after, he doing his interview, Bandito disrespects him. Then later on tonight, Bandito them comes out to interfere in family business. So Kyle Fletcher like, no, fuck that. I will not tolerate disrespect, so I will whoop his monkey ass. Notice they never put the Ring of Honor title on. Keep that in mind. But it's a good ass match. And we still see him and Takeshita still got some problems. So at some point, him and Takeshita is Takeshi's gonna get a match with Kyle and probably get the belt back. So I keep telling y'all, they're building up Kyle Fletcher to this time next year. Kyle Fletcher will be our AEW World Champion. Mark my words. And then next week, of course, which this is a toss-up for me. Kevin Knight has to defend the TNT title against Darby. Do you have Kevin Knight go over on Darby? Now, of course, it would probably be some shenanigans. But you're talking about Kevin Knight losing the TNT title, and you already know he's going to lose to Kenny Omega. But at the same token, Darby been on this blistering pace. He's been winning. He's one of your top stars. Actually, he's way more over than Kevin Knight. No disrespect to Kevin. He's a former TNT champion. One of your pillars. Why not put the belt on? But we'll see. And will we see Mox go against Kenny? Because it's interesting how Mox just walked up to Kenny and was like, it had a little interaction with him. Because Darby was like, he's not going to change. The only way he's going to change, you beat it out of him. So are we seeing that down the line? And two, like I said, everybody's intertwined. I know what people are going to say. The Death Riders, did they heels or they faces? Well, I ain't going to front. I ain't got a problem with how they're being booked. Because, how can I put this? The reason why they're being booked that way, because they are a heel clique. But the face side of it is Ospreay. So unless Ospreay go full heel, he's the one that's keeping them kind of on that face side. And because they're going to make sure to look out for him, and he's apparently a part of Death Riders. So there you go. And two, I just love the little shit where they just bounce around. Yeah. I'm sorry, Death Riders aside. Mox is on a roll. I'm sorry. Mox is on a roll. Okay. Can we please give him his props? So, as well as you still have Speedball, Mike Bailey in the action with him and his boy, him and Jet. So I'm liking the way that they keep everything intertwined. That's good. It's called good booking. I have to give it to them. We didn't see Tekla this week on Dynamite. I'm pretty sure you're going to see it on Collision. Interesting that they got the CEO with the Divine Dominion. They got the win in the 6-woman tag. We ain't, like I said, this was more about Willow and Mercedes. Plus adding Mercedes and Maya World. So right there, we already see 2 title matches for Mercedes once you become champion. The rematch with Willow, because Willow will probably defeat Tekla. We should get into action with them during Collision. Mercedes will defeat Willow. Willow probably get a rematch. I see Maya World at some point challenging. You know what I'm saying? Because they keep mentioning Maya World and Mercedes. And plus, that match was good. There's something we can go back to. You feel what I'm saying? I still say Maya World will be the one that will unseat my girl Athena for the Ring of Honor Women's Championship at some point. Now back to it. The other thing I'm thinking about, what else? Trying to think that I covered everything for AEW for Redemption. Like I said before, let me say this again. I got to give them props because even though it was a quick booking of Redemption and setting up Redemption, it actually kind of made sense. Y'all may not like the promo day and the way that Kevin Knight got the title, but title shot, but it kind of made sense to me. Because he walked in as a smug motherfucker talking shit to the goddamn greatest of all time. So greatest of all time want to put him in his place. Of course, we have the dogs in CNC, plus tension with the Switchblade and Christian. So, and the Young Bucks in the waiting ring to get their title shot. So to me, and of course there was no Hangman, but some tell me we'll see Hangman on Collision. I'm curious to see who's his first match going to be, his first feud going to be, is it Ty going to go after? I was very surprised. I thought some tell me Kyle Fletcher after he's going to go. Of course, he's going against Bandito, but I think if he don't, because the catcher got to do the G1. So I think Brody King, maybe. And when they going to put a single belt on Brody? I'm just saying. Brody King, I mean, you put the tag titles on him, you keep him around, hovering around. Why not? You know. So, like I said, it's from looking at everything. AEW this week was pretty cool. I think everything is being set up the way that it's been set up. Of course, I'm sorry, I forgot. Now my new favorite wrestler. How do you know? Andrade. I'm sorry. I love that shit. I'm sorry. I love when he do that shit. How do you know? How do you know? Oh, man. Andrade, I'm sorry. I'm looking forward to him. That match between him and Dunkzilla is going to be a barn burner. But I do expect him to finally get the National Heavyweight Championship. And then, of course, I know everyone. Yes, the shit promo of the night, the return of Painmaker. So, Jericho has rehashed his character from New Japan, the Painmaker. For him and Ciampa to have their match. I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, the Painmaker. You know something like this. I actually like how this is a very physical blood feud between two veterans. You know, I love me some Ciampa, and I do like Jericho. I know people gonna say the Jericho mid-card Vortex or Jericho Vortex. No, this is not that. To me, this is elevating both men. It wouldn't surprise me if at some point it even elevates Jericho if Jericho gets the win to go after AEW World Championship. Now I don't see him winning it ever again, but you get my drift. Plus, let's be real, they had a very good match last time. So let's not pretend like the match was garbage. This ain't the Usos versus the Usos. This ain't gonna be Danhausen versus JD McDonough. No. So I'm damn sure looking forward to that. And that's it for AEW. Like I said, I know people had a lot to say about the promo with Kenny Omega, what have you, but I'm sorry. It's the way that they got to Kevin Knight becoming the number one contender or getting a title shot. I had no issue with it. I just think that they could have did the promo a little bit more fiery. They could have did the promo a little differently. He didn't have to sit here and say, well, this ain't MJF. He didn't even have to sit here and say, look, I told MJF I want a title shot, but now I know he ain't here no more. I'm stepping to you. I want a shot at that belt. You know what I'm saying? Or he could have not mentioned MJF. Or it could have been Don Callis who came out and said, nah, Kenny, before you go there, I already went to the back and talk to Tony Khan. And in redemption, you're going to go against the future 2-belt so that Don Callis. No, we got that promo after the fact. Actually, that would have probably made more sense for Don Callis to do the interaction than that of Kevin Knight. See, I could be a decent book if I wanted to be. So look, I gave y'all enough. I'm done. We'll be back next week to do more talking upon the pro wrestling. So with that being said, before we go, you know I got to do some advertising and tell y'all what y'all need to do. So look, as I put this up on the screen, please hit the QR code to go to the place where the conversation gets saucy, the titties pop out, dildos might pop out. You don't know what pop off unless you subscribe. The risque side of the STO podcast family. I'm talking about the Premium Smoke Room people. Right now, you can subscribe for $6.25 for the first month, people. 4 podcasts. That's right, people. 4 plus special episodes that I drop on a regular basis, such as the Project Content House, as well as the VIP Smoke Room. You know what I'm saying? And this is for the grown and sexy, the grown adults. So I do know I have people under the age of 17 that listen to my podcast and look at my YouTube. Do not join unless you're 18 and out of fucking high school, because you need to, take your time to get your schooling together. You feel me? Oh, yeah. Plus, also, the other side of the STO podcast family, the subscription side, I got 2, stuff over on Spotify that you can listen to. Had the Smoke on it and Savage Smoke, as I talk to industry top male talents and producers to give you that real smoke from a male perspective. You feel me? So you got Premium Smoke, Had the Smoke on it, Savage Smoke. Either way, just subscribe to the Smoke. Also, do not forget about the flagship of the STO podcast family. I'm talking about STO, the Smokers Lounge. And if you're seeing this on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. You feel me? Hit the notification bell on any of these platforms so you know when a new episode drops from the STO podcast family, especially Pro Wrestling Smoke. You feel me? Plus, it helps with the algorithm. You get what I'm saying? Plus, on Spotify and all these other platforms other than YouTube, please rate the podcast. Give me 5 stars, baby. Give me 5 stars. I'm working hard for them 5 stars. You feel me? And like I said on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. You feel me? So with that being said, I got to go. I got to run. So with that, you know how we do. Life is a learning experience. What's the point of the experience if you haven't learned anything? Smoke this over.